Hello, this is Decoherent, and welcome back to some more Torment Tides of Numenera. So, our whole thing with the bloom is going nicely here. We have managed to get closer to the heart of the bloom. I'm hoping it's something I can stab, because that's kind of what we've been doing. Okay, and we discovered that this area goes on a little further. We do want to talk to this Murden, and I think that's it. Yeah, okay, let's talk to him. The down of this Murden is patchy and streaked with abhuman blood. Glassy eyes filled with hatred stare at you, and its beak dribbles foam. It cradles a ragged bundle fiercely to its chest. As you approach, the Murden blasts a field of static into your mind. You involuntarily step back, unable to get any closer to the creature. Unlike other Murdens you've encountered, the mental blast of this one is not just annoying, it's actually painful. This Murden is clearly in a feral, desperate state. Its glassy eyes suggest delirium or madness. Perhaps this has somehow intensified its psychic abilities. Hey! Your ability to read minds makes the pain worse, amplifying it until it feels like something's exploded in your head. Okay. If I use concentration, yeah. Like, take it easy here, dude. The Murden's mental shrieking batters your mind, but somehow you're able to overcome the pain to step closer to the Murden. You can reach out and touch it from here. The Murden's beak opens and closes, snapping at you in a desperate attempt to hold you off. With one hand, it tries to conceal its cloth bundle behind its back. Let's knock it out. You hold the creature by the greasy down of its neck and deliver a quick punch to the base of its skull. Its static field immediately dissipates, and the Murden goes limp in your hands. It releases its grip on the ragged bundle it was trying to hide. Oh! You unwrap the ragged cloth bundle that the Murden was trying to hide from you. Inside, you find an egg-shaped object of pearly white synth. When your hand brushes against it, you can hear cheerful music. You also find something that looks like an adorably fuzzy head mounted atop a metal cylinder. The head is alive and appears to be dozing? Synth egg. This egg-shaped object is made of pearly white synth. The moment you touch it, a lively tune begins to play in your mind, and the egg adheres to your hands, preventing you from actively dropping it. A quest item? For what? And a candy dispenser. This rectangular device is topped with the head of a furry, vaguely feline creature. The head appears to be dozing. Occasionally, it makes soft cooing sounds in its sleep. Right. Okay. Well, that was a little weird. We don't have a quest for that, do we? No, we don't. Okay, well that's mildly mysterious, and let's check out our Pez dispenser. Usable, huh? This is a rectangular device with the likeness of a furry feline creature's head on one end. It may be some kind of toy, or the device grows warm in your hand, and with a wide yawn, the creature opens overlarge eyes and gazes up at you with love-struck awe. Mer? With twin clicks, the outline of a long, slender, four-fingered hands protrude from either side of the device. Hi, what are you? Mer, the creature responds, rubbing its furry head against the pad of your thumb. It's adorable, Eridas breathes. Let's keep it forever. Give me a few months, and I'll knit it a little blanket. I love it. Can you speak? The creature purrs deep in its throat, making the device rumble in your palm. Let's take a look at this a little more carefully. You turn the device over to examine the casing. The creature coos with interest at the sight of the floor. On the bottom, opposite the head, you find a carving of a stylized sun with a hole in its center. You don't recognize the symbol, however, and you can't tell if it's a maker's mark or something else entirely. Okay. Alright. Can I give this? Here. Why don't you take that? Okay. Okay, well, this has been thoroughly weird so far. And we poked at everything in here, right? Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
Alright, here I go.
Oh man. Okay, what was this? This fat, blubbery flesh is soft and yielding, threatening to suck you down if you tried to wade through it. Don't worry, I don't have the slightest intention of doing so. What is this? Why is there money sitting down here? Oh, this is horrible. Look at it. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and I can hear them fighting again. Okay.
Yes.
3 fat arteries converge under a bridge of bloom flesh, spilling a foul, sludgy mess from the other side. It empties into the pool and spirals down into an open sphincter. Right, because of course it does. Look at all these things we can poke. Okay. Ah. Okay, Sioan. I really hate that the bloom keeps these reflections. Despair lines the face of this ghostly figure. His aquiline figures are clean and strong, his head shaven. His eyes, empty sockets, are bleeding, but they turn to you. Hello, he says. His voice is deep and sepulchral. I'm glad you're here. Kill me, please. He looks substantial. Could he have arrived here without being eaten? Why are you here? Listening, he says, with a slow nod in the direction of the whirlpool. It sounds like a heartbeat, doesn't it? He leans forward ever so slightly. It sounds like peace. Did you ever think that standing near this thing is what's making you want to die? He goes still for a moment, considering your words. Perhaps, he says at last. Or perhaps it's the fact that I'm trapped here, and I'll never, ever escape until I'm dead. But have no fear, I'm not giving myself to whatever's down there. He leans away from the whirlpool ever so slightly. I've seen what happens to those who throw themselves into these waters. His mouth twists. They're torn apart, but they don't die. They live on as a part of the bloom. We hear them weeping sometimes, or screaming. So why do you want me to kill you? He looks at you, shocked, and speaks slowly. Why do I want you to kill me? Are you completely blind? I'm not. Maybe you are. Look around you. Look at this place. Do you think I want to dissolve here? The bloom is eating me, digesting me, and I'm stuck in its gut. What life is there for me? I'm already dead. What happened to your eyes? I don't know, he says flatly. I came here too long ago, and memories are the first thing the gullet takes. Then hope, then the senses. All I know is I've been here for a long, long time. So what would happen if I tried to kill you? Then I die. I disappear. The bloom gets no more of my essence. Whatever afterlife may await us is my reward. If you don't... He falls silent, sighing. If you don't, I'll be here, fighting despair, listening to the weeping of the others, and trading hopeless words until I fade away. Okay. I gotcha. Let's see if I can kill you with the scalpel. That usually works well. As the blade passes through his flesh, a look of surprise momentarily crosses his face. The scalpel cuts deeply into his insubstantial trachea, and a spray of horrifyingly substantial blood spews from the wound. Even as he fades away, Sioan finds a way to smile. My thanks. Yeah, I feel like I did the right thing there. Okay, obviously I'm not going in this. 3 tubes spill a foul bile into a rancid, swirling morass. Somewhere at the bottom of the pool there must be a drain. You can hear a faint thudding like that of an overgrown heart. Each time it beats, the surface of the water ripples slightly. Smell it. You lean in close to sniff the fluid, and quickly pull your head back before you vomit, although perhaps a touch of vomit would improve the stench. The fluid reminds you of rotten flesh, bile, half-digested meat, and a mixture of rusting metal and lightning? Ozone, huh? Interesting. Okay, here's some fighting over here. Let's kind of creep our way over. Okay, good, there's more horrors. Excellent. I was just thinking, man, it's been at least 40 seconds without a horror. A cluster of bloom tubes sprout from the floor. One of them, thinner than the rest, has developed a leak, and its vile juices flow energetically into the pool. Yeah, sure. That'll be funny. Yeah. That's your atonement, Tiber. You deftly manipulate the tube, kinking it to avoid being sprayed while you work, and you manage, mostly. A few drops of the rancid stuff land on your boots. With the fluid pressure momentarily relieved, you expertly tie the bloom tube into a knot. When you release it, the knot holds. No more fluid leaks from this cluster. The level of the pool drops noticeably. Ugh, I don't know if I want that. Okay. Let's see what's going on over here. Then I'm gonna go try to get rid of those guys, because it's super annoying listening to their combat. From a bloated sphincter in the wall, a vile mix spews into the room, flowing down to the pool. It smells like a foul coupling of sewage and vomit. Oh! Neat. Tiber? Ew. The egg is almost exactly the right shape to shove into the orifice. You force it into the opening, spraying bloom juice in all directions. It hisses and burns when it hits your bare skin, but you ignore the pain, shoving the egg deeper until the flow of liquid is stopped. The sphincter convulses once or twice, but your makeshift seal holds firm. The level of the pool drops as one of its sources are cut out. Sorry about that, Tiber. Oops, wait, that's not what I wanted to do. No, we're good. How much damage did you take from that? Or was it me that took it? Why did I take the damage? Okay. Let's poke our head around the corner. I have not forgotten about the area up to the north. Oh, look, it's these yahoos again. Okay. Bone emerges from the wall like sap, growing itself into fantastical shapes. Skeletal remains are scattered amongst them, slowly dissolving into the floor. Okay, let's come back and deal with them in just a minute. Did I find a way? Is there anything else I can poke at over here to, like, stop the rest of that fluid? No. Okay. Maybe over here. Oh, look! A tongue cluster. What is that? Uh-oh. Taglio. A washed-out, somewhat insubstantial Taglio bowls towards you. The boozy cheers. Oh, Taglio. The boozy cheer has vanished from his red and blotchy face. Now it's a study in fury. Although he seems ghostly, hardly a physical threat, he radiates a nearly palpable heat. You bastard. You utter conniving bastard. You tricked me into letting the bloom devour me, and now I get to watching it siphon away the best parts of me? I should have known better than to trust a cast-off. Make this right. Go on, do it now. I did have a choice. That's bullshit. Okay. Force spills throughout you as you pull Taglio's pain and anguish from him, gathering them into yourself. His emotions feel like knives, and you momentarily relive his horror at being devoured alive, the maw stripping essential parts of him away as it consigned the rest of him to this slow devouring hell. His pain and fear and suffering rack you to your very core. Taglio's face relaxes, softens, and regains some of its accustomed humor. It's not so bad, Cast-Off. It's the dying alone that worries me. But now I feel like someone will remember me at least. Oh! You want to pop in my head? I can absorb you into my mind if you'll let me. Better than this. He considers your offer. Got any rum in there? He smirks. I'm sure it's better than dying here. Do what you need to do. Sure. Kind of the least I can do. I kind of did. Got him drunk and then toss him in the maw. You reach out and place your fingers on Taglio's chest. He looks surprised, but says nothing. You close your eyes, open your mind, and will him into the labyrinth. Perhaps it's weak and formed, or perhaps it's the strength of your intellect, but you feel his consciousness awakening inside your mind. He's brought his sardonic humor and his taste for rum. As his mind is reborn inside yours, his body fades in the real world until nothing is left. It's going to be quite a crowd in there. Yes, new reflections. Here, I just want to
Here I go.
get a nice... This is going on a screenshot, of course. Don't be ridiculous. This is the coolest thing in the entire world. Nice. Very nice. Okay. So, without touching anything, there's a tongue cluster. That's good. And what is this non-human? At first, you're not sure what you're looking at. It seems to be an enormous suit of metal armor, or perhaps some kind of exploration suit? It's large, at least twice the size of an ordinary human, and its limbs and joints are completely foreign to you. Even if you could find a way inside, you'd have to contort yourself in ways the human body was never meant to bend. It has a visor or faceplate at its top. Let's look at it a little more carefully first. The strange metal of this suit looks as though it could survive the cold of the interstellar void or the depths of an impossibly deep sea. When you push on it, it gives just a little bit and expands by the same amount. The bloom flesh around the suit is puffy and irritated, almost infected. It seems that the bloom is trying to absorb the suit into itself without much success. Okay. The interstellar void is not necessarily cold. It's right around 4 degrees Kelvin, and if you were out there, you would probably die of heat in orbit. Okay, anyway, sorry. There are a number of tools and strange devices attached to the suit's right hand. You might be able to extract 1 or 2 of those if you're careful. Let's look inside the faceplate. Some visitant lived inside this suit, a creature with multiple eyes scattered across its face, based on the skeletal remains you can see inside at least. At least you assume they're eye sockets. It might have been some other alien orifice. Oddly, the creature had no visible mouth or jaw. Okay, let's see what I can pull off your suit. Most of the attachments are broken or corroded, but through some careful maneuvering, you're able to detach something that looks like a spray canister. A test squirt produces a gob of quick-drying liquid synth that is a highly effective sealant. Once you detach the device, you notice that there's more machinery deeper inside the suit's arm. Sealant spray. This is capable of spraying a powerful sealant material that could permanently close a medium-sized aperture or hole. It's too delicate for use in combat. You scavenge the device from the large metal suit you find on the gullet. I wonder which flow of nasty stuff we're going to seal with that's left out there. Okay, let's see if I can grab some more stuff out of there. I don't need my speed, but Tiber might. You reach into the arm, and your fingers graze a small metal orb. You carefully pry it loose and withdraw it from the arm. Looks like you've found a reservoir of the sealant material used in the spray device. A sealant bomb? This small metal orb contains a reservoir of the sticky material. Too delicate for combat, you could rig it to burst open. Okay. Well, okay. So we found our gluing machine. Oh no, someone else that wants us to...
Alright.
Okay, let's see what's over here. 6 points of int. Oh, since I'm not in the middle of doing anything, why don't I go ahead and use one of my heal things. 8 points of health, is that sufficient? Yeah, I don't need to use the 16s. Let's use it on me.
Oh, I can breathe again.
Did I use the wrong one? Oh. Okay, I must be getting healing multiples at this point. Let's look at this, but don't touch it. Hands to yourself. Look with your eyes. This massive pustulant wall of flesh looks like nothing so much as a herniated mass pushing out through the weakened walls of the bloom. You can't identify the function of the organ that is pushed through the skin here, but you do see a small crevasse inside. Closer examination yields a space inside, a hidden space large enough for you to rest without being bothered. Nope. I'm good. Okay, decor. This wiry young man wears dirt-stained, ragged clothes and carries a wicked, jagged knife. Wet blood still stains its blade, although you see no evidence of bodies or victims. He sees you, and his mouth works in an instinctive but passionless snarl. As his gaze shifts away, he smiles deeply. His voice is flat and affectless. I'm the life-taker Decore. You're in my territory. That's how it used to be, though, right? Get the words right. Maybe the rest will come. So this is... the gullet is your territory? I've marked it out. I've walked its paces. I know its contractions and its convulsions. Yes, mine. All mine. His confident mouth goes slack, though, hanging open at the end of his words, as though they're the only thing giving it shape. So how did you get here? I came to the bloom to kill an old friend. I followed him deep inside the vast and winding ways of this fell beast. He led me through a narrow vein, and then... He shivers, gritting his teeth. A maw took me. Bit down, chewed and chewed. He looks around. And this is how Decore dies. Not at the hands of a mob or at the end of a levy's blade. No, he chuckles or sobs. In the gullet of the bloom, the biggest predator of them all. So, can you tell me anything helpful about the gullet? People, he begins, licking his ghostly lips. People dwindle here, like candles or starving men. The bloom eats us bit by bit until only the despair is left. Then we sink into the bloom, or throw ourselves into the whirlpool, or the maw takes us, or... He trails off, his brow contorted. So we wait, we sleep, and try to stay ourselves. So where was this maw that you were just talking about? It's going to be right here. In these walls, he says, throwing out a limp hand. In the floor. Somewhere nearby, waiting. And it doesn't eat flesh or fear or murderous rage. No, it eats despair, and waits until we're full of it. Full to bursting. So you called yourself the life taker. What does that mean? He shakes his blade, looking at the ground, at the wall, anywhere but you. I kill people, Protect my territory, he whispers. They feared me. The places where I walked, where I marked, they feared me. He trails off. Does anyone fear me now that I'm gone? Do they care if I do? Did you mean to threaten me, or was that just a habit? I mean, he thinks deeply, apparently unaware of the answer, as if he'd been going through the motions for so long he can't recall the reasons for them. Yes, I could threaten you. More than that, I could push you to the ground and chop you apart like all the others. His fingers tighten over his dagger, but there are tears in his eyes, the tears of a lost child. But it wouldn't matter, would it? Not anymore. Why demand a thing I wouldn't use? Well, that's how it's done, I suppose. I wonder if I can use him to get to the reflection. Well, we're not going to do that at the moment, sorry. So, we've got, what, an inn and a suicide booth? Okay, let's poke at one of these tongue clusters. These always do interesting things. Another cluster of bloom tongues. Yes, yes. Okay. Let's stick its tentacles into my brain. Okay, I'm not letting it pull on my memory. I don't know what it's doing. Alright. Push away at it. The bloom tongues loll against each other, exhausted. Okay, let's take control of them. I feel bad I'm not reading through some of the stuff. You've heard this before. I reach across the barrier. I can control their movements. Okay. Oh, interesting. The roots of this tongue cluster grow thick beneath the floor of the chamber. Unlike the tongues you've encountered before, they seem to be cut off from the rest of the bloom. Now that you're connected to the tongues, you hear whispers coming from somewhere nearby. Okay, what else is happening in the room here? The tongue's roots form a tight web throughout the chamber, and their senses within its boundaries are unusually sharp. You can feel raw, burning pain where bloom flesh chafes against an ancient metal suit. Something about the metal irritates the flesh. In time, it might be encysted, but until then, the tongues will endure the pain. You also sense the presence of Decore, even to the sharp senses of its tongues. He is barely perceptible, thin and stretched, dissolving at the edges. A core of despair is building within him, and everything else is being stripped away. Okay, what are these whispers? The whispers arise from a corner of the room, and you realize that the roots of this cluster all grow towards that point. It's a maw, you realize. Another maw that has hidden itself from mortal sight. Indeed, by cutting off this chamber from the rest of the bloom, it's managed to hide itself even from other maws and tongues. This chamber is a blind spot, a locus of independent consciousness. It is, in a sense, a separate being, the child of the bloom. The hell? Reveal yourself. You whisper to the maw, and your voice travels through the tongues and along their roots, joining the whispers of the maw, bending it to your will. After a few moments, the maw responds, shimmering into beam in a corner of the room. Okay. While we're in here, why did you cut it This is interesting. This is very interesting. Ordinarily, I wouldn't touch with any of these with anything. So far, I've convinced people to more or less jump into them for me. That's not true, I did stab the one. Okay. You can sense the mind of the maw, old and patient and strong. Lines of psychic energy emanate from it that touch every corner of the room. Its whispers have a cruel and dismal edge. You sense long millennia in the dark, feeding upon the half-digested leavings of other maws. You can sense the mind of... Okay. Okay. Okay, well... That was weird. Oh. Okay. Please stay out of reach. Please stay out of reach. You're not out of reach. The flesh on this maw is dark and scabrous. It keeps itself tightly shut, like the puckered mouth of an ancient crone. You can hear its voices, and they're unusually sharp, almost painful to hear. The tendrils wave gently through the air, torpid and nameless. They don't seem interested in anything nearby. Listen carefully to the voices. The voices spit and hiss, their meaning unclear, but undeniably cruel. Still, you don't get the sense that the maw's ire is directed at you. It doesn't seem to react to your presence at all. Your sharp senses provide no particular advantage in hearing the odd sounds. You realize that the bloom's voices are a psychic phenomenon, not a physical one. They're literally voices in your head. Well, I know that. Okay. Well, that's weird. We'll come back and poke at that. Don't worry, I won't forget. Let's see. Like, I could probably take these guys if I had to. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Ooh, this Anine's limbs are stiff and it smells of decay. Okay. Can I talk to Hersha? For a moment, you don't recognize the slightly transparent apparition because blood obscures her features. When she turns toward you, though, the sight of the armor and her memorable hair sparks your memory. It's Hersha, the Angulan Knight. She's digging at her forehead with a piece of sharpened bone, and her hands don't stop, even as her eyes focus at you. Her mind is not blank exactly, but flat, like a painting with no light or shadow. Can I pop up settings? Okay, sorry about this combat noise. Okay. Is she threatening me? She's not threatening me. So this isn't her. You left little Neelish alive. A flicker of doubt crosses her face. What you did at the Maw, you and that bloated pretender, Garkodo, you broke me in two? You made me into this? You scum. You're in league with the mutants to destroy the Angulan Knights, aren't you? Aren't you? The rest of me is still trapped in that prison in the mutant cesspool. Her eyes narrow. Or you're just lying. This is no illusion, Hersha. Oh, wait. Yeah, this isn't an illusion. This is the result of the choices you made and the suffering you brought to so many. I don't like draining all of his int pool. Well. What would it cost me? Oh, it cost me nothing to get to 85, or 1 to get to 100. She scoffs and turns away, but then she turns back, and doubt has dawned in her eyes. You can't mean that, she whispers. You can't. She studies your face and finds no hint of a lie. She wraps her arms around herself, rocking back and forth. No, 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 it can't be. As she whispers to herself, she gradually fades from view. Oh, well that was weird. So, if I go over here, I'm gonna have to fight these things, aren't I? I mean, we could throw down. I can probably take them. Are they gonna notice me? Yeah, they're gonna notice me. Yep, they seem to sense our presence and turn to regard me. This one is not like us, whispers the Bloom cultist. He was not eaten by the great devourer. No, agrees a woman who's dressed in the rags of a slave. He is here for our pleasure in these final hours of our lives. She raises her weapon. Her comrades do the same, baring their teeth and hissing like animals. Alright. I saw this coming. And I still did it. Oh, 44 health. Okay, we can take these guys. Yeah, this will be fine. Okay. Can we hit this guy? Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Alright, it's okay. Eridus. I'm tempted to focus fire, but I think Eridus might actually just like one-shot him. What's his damage again? Because he's doing 20 to 30 damage, plus he tends to crit a lot. Let's... Well, no, be smart. I'll just do a regular attack, that's fine. That should be sufficient. Yep. Okay, me. So let's do something useful this time. Actually, this is only 4 int. Let's pop this balefire up. I think they're awesome. It's a distraction, and they do a little bit of help. Okay, and then let's go ahead and let's get up here so that everyone's back in my aura.
Yes.
Alright. Rin, what can you do? Do I want to waste her attacks on doing something? Oh, she has the flex skill thing. That's funny, I didn't realize that. Should I use a Numenera? I don't really need them, but it would be cool. So this consumes movement, and this consumes action. Oops, cancel. Oh, this is one target. Don't I have something that explodes? 28 within all range. I could get 3 of them. Let's do that. So first let's use her Cypher Adept.
That's the stuff.
And next, Quantum Detonation. Let's get these 3 guys. Out of range. Seriously? I'm so bad at this. Okay, well, let's get on up here.
If you think that's best.
Hopefully they can't kill my balefire. Okay, maybe I shouldn't even bother using any ciphers on these guys. Okay, one of them hit. Good job. Yeah. Okay, this isn't much of a threat. Not at all. Yeah. The hardest part here is going to be not accidentally hitting one of them. Or hitting one of my guys. Yeah, sure. Nice. Not a crit. I would have liked a crit, but that's okay. I'm gonna shoot them with my stupid gun. Wait, no I'm not. That's stupid. That's stupid even by my standards. Onslaught. Transdimensional. Nothing down here seems to react well to transdimensional damage, so... Oh, that does 17 now. I guess that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Rin, though. Rin, we can go ahead and use her silly ranged attack.
I'm so sorry.
Ah! Nice job, Rin. Well done. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to use any Numenera on this. Even though it won't consume it. There's absolutely no purpose. These things are worthless. Alright. Well, let's do the Sucker Punch. That does extra damage, right? I think so. Yep. Bye-bye. And Eridus. Let's just use that too while we're at it. $95 is plenty. Nice. So nice. Good job. And I'll just use Onslaught again. Transdimensional, Predatory Echo.
That's the last time you'll touch me.
18 is not too shabby. Good job, team. Wow, I mean, seriously. Nicely done. Alright, we get anything cool?
Fine.
Ooh, a new axe. Nope, it's a crummy one. Okay, oh well. We'll sell it. And another axe.
All right.
And another axe. And another axe. It's not even like worth anything.
Fine.
Spray flash. Okay. What's going on back here? Okay, Might. What in the world are you? Blackstone rings. This curious object is a pair of linked rings made of a black stone-like substance. Together, they are solid, about the size of a clenched fist, but they can be disjointed and connected again, each time reforming into perfect circles. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Okay. This reef of bone is almost beautiful. Perhaps these are the skeletal remains of the bloom's victims, transformed by the bloom for some purpose of its own. That's beautiful, huh? Right. Beauty's changed a little in a billion years. Okay, I already saw that. So,
Yes.
Who's the corpse? This dead woman bears numerous stab wounds, probably inflicted by the predatory echoes that seem to infest the gullet. Judging by the scrawled maps and notes that are stuffed amongst her things, she may have been an explorer or a bloom guide. It looks as though her belts and pouches are mostly intact. Let's rummage through her pockets. You kneel down next to the corpse and let your trained eyes rove over her body. Here, a pouch seems to bulge, and your hand dips in and returns with a handful of shins. There, a pocket lies flat and you ignore it. You realize that the guide's belt is no such thing. It's a length of synth rope, about 15 meters long, and as you touch it, it uncoils from her waist, almost as though it was responding to your needs. It coils itself towards you, and you place it amongst your possessions. Okay. This rope is 15 meters long and looks sturdy and strong. As you hold it, it squirms gently in your hands, trying to wrap itself around your wrists. It appears to possess a rudimentary form of intelligence, perhaps even sentience. It can tie and untie itself on command. So cool. Nothing else down there. Okay, hold on, let's take a look at this super quick. This is an artifact. Okay, here's my prediction. We're going to go out here, we're going to seal this shut, and we're going to have the possibility to tie the rope on and climb down there. Okay, that one actually kind of nice looking. Okay, well let's go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, here's what we're going to do. We're going to seal this up with the glue bomb. We'll think very carefully about whether or not we want to throw a rope down there. And I think we're going to go cut at this maw. I don't care for maws, to be perfectly honest, and I rather enjoy stabbing them. So, on that note, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.